We have deadlifts today or deadlift variations. So I will go over many options, and these are going to be based on your equipment choice, availability, and just general need. So we'll kind of go over a few options there. We are going to start this morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're doing this, with some Cossack squats. We're doing 10 total. This is per set. 5 squat jumps. I said weight optional. I'll show you what that looks like. It is not as crazy as it sounds. And then 15 hollow body rocks. I said or dead bugs, depending on head and neck discomfort in both those things. And then we have another 8-minute, every minute on the minute. Okay, so your reps are going to vary depending on what you choose. There's all deadlift variations. We have 3 per side, single leg deadlifts, just like last time. I added a potential knee raise. So if you don't have the option to increase weight or difficulty, adding a knee raise per rep, so single leg deadlift, raise your knee up on the same leg. That is one of those things where we're just adding time under tension, increased balance load, all that stuff. So that is an option, not a requirement. The other option is for deadlifts, increasing your weights if you have the option to do so, and or it's appropriate. So that is 2-footed deadlifts. Increasing your weight is an option. And I say sort of a little asterisk if you're reading this, says bicep curl and overhead press or / overhead press optional. So these are one of those things where these are all additions to something if it feels like an option that you want to take. And then we are going to finish off the session with some goblet squats, non-alternating reverse lunge steps, some push-ups, and some tall kneeling overhead press. And I'll go over all those things. So finish your coffee if you need to do so. And let's just start with some cat cows. I'm going to finish my coffee though, so you can do cat. I'm going to elect
Gone. She gone.
that for a second. Oh. And reps here, you can do more or less. This rep scheme is a guideline.
Look at Carrie up getting it done.
Are the start times for the women's tour inconsistent, Carrie, or is that?
No, no, I think it's supposed to be during the week. It's 6:30 Pacific,
Okay.
9:30 Eastern, during the weekday, and it's different on the weekends.
Okay.
But it's weird when I turn on Peacock, it doesn't have like the schedule. It says it's waiting, and I'm like, waiting till when? And
Yeah,
I noticed
that. I noticed that with when they shortened which I forgot what stage they shortened, but they shortened the stage.
Yeah.
The men's tour, and I was like, whoop, and they just didn't mention when. But that was I think a last minute change.
I think they did it on the app actually, but they couldn't do it on my TV. It wasn't
Oh
showing.
yeah, that's fair. Bird dogs are next if you haven't already done those. You have, that's fine. I really don't like Peacock's coverage. I prefer, is it TNT Eurosport now or TNT, whatever it is they've changed to. But unless you have a VPN, you get Peacock or Peacock or Peacock. Yeah, that's okay.
Welcome to our challenges with Ironman Pro Series coverage here at BOS.
It's really cute when they mispronounce all of the names.
Oh, yeah.
So the best young rider, I think it's Jibo or something. Anyway, Phoebe and I watched the first stage together. And we were like, look at her go, look at her go. Like she just kept attacking. And this is and then she got the best young rider, and we were like, yeah. But we just I called her Spunky, and now that's what her name is Spunky. So Phoebe's like, did you see Spunky's still in the white jersey? So yes, but that entire team is just a small team that she's on, and all of them are. It's just like I think they know they're not going to win, but they're like jumping on attacks like crazy. So it's kind of cool to see. It's like that's their whole team strategy is.
That's what the Pro Conti team invitations are for.
Yeah, exactly. But super cool to see. She's really a good rider.
Well, I mean, I will say, let's do 3 per side on these threading needles, but
Ugh.
while I appreciate people being a little bit bored of Tade just owning everybody just by a country mile, being like, yes, and what I will say is the entire men's peloton understanding that Tade and Jonas are the only two that can compete against each other realistically it created this really interesting for who was going to be third. So that was a really interesting battle. And secondly, a lot of teams were just like trying stuff, totally off the cuff, random, like things that you would never do. But you're like, you got to try it.
What else can we do, right? Like, oh, we have no chance to win the GC, so
Yeah.
we're gonna like go balls out on this climb, or we're gonna like. So
or like, let's get a jersey, or let's go for it. Like, it was really interesting. And like the best young, I mean, it was sort of like it created an interesting dynamic outside of the top two until it was no longer interesting. But but it was I thought it was still for me intriguing enough, I will say. Like I was still relatively happy with the tension between everybody else. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't totally miffed by the idea that God, I had a 4.5 minute lead by week 2. So everything else was interesting. Let's do interims next. I'm going to stand up, so you're not to my body, and that's okay, right? But I do want you to touch your toes if that's possible, or the ground in front of you. Bending your knees is okay. You're going to walk out. You can use your knees for the push-up if you want. We're going to lay down. Getting back up can be a little warming. Give your butt squeeze if you're going to do that, though. Walk your hands back towards your feet. You may stand up or walk straight back out. Okay. Let's have you do a total of 5 of these. That was 1.
I know what you're doing here.
What?
Really slow burpees.
I suppose so. For me, actually, this is a hamstring check-in, low back, shoulders, hips, knees. And if any of those have an opinion, that's okay.
They do.
What are they saying?
Can't tell them say, wow, you really biked, or more biking, lady.
Okay. I'm going to just demonstrate on the ground while I'm here, but it's okay for you to stay standing, okay? So we have our hollow body rocks, and then we have, I said, or dead bugs. So we're starting from the bottom of the list up. So we have 15 hollow body rocks or dead bugs. So we've done both variations many, many times. But primarily the biggest difference is with the hollow body rock, right? Whether you are doing it with a very compact tuck shape My head and shoulders are off the ground and my hips are tucked. So I'm very much in like a rocking chair shape on my low back. Okay. And I'm still braced. I can rock this way. I can rock this way, this way. Any variation works. Okay. Any of those. But the more compact you are, the less challenging. But it is hard on the head and the neck. So if that is a problem, head comes down, hands come over, the shoulders, knees over the hips. And we can either go opposite dead bug, same side dead bug, right? So those are going to be your options, right? So one is a more challenging dynamic. The other is going to be less head and neck heavy, just if that's something that you deal with. Moving up the list, the second movement on this list is a squat jump. I said a weight optional. So, and I meant it. So when we're squat jumping, I'll show you kind of by heel legs. I'm squatting down, right? Jumping and landing if you can do so, or your neighbors allow. A weighted squat jump can be done with a dumbbell, can be done with a kettlebell. I'm going to show you both. For the dumbbell, just hold the dumbbell tall or long. I'm going to squat from the side. I'm squatting down. I'm just touching. Kettlebell, same idea. Touching. So I'm still in a squat shape. And then, right, 5 squat jumps. Arms are straight. And if you can't, I realize the height of your bell might make a difference here. If you can touch the ground or a yoga block, that might be nice to touch something, right? If it's really low, you can just stack some books and touch that. So I realize if your kettle is really small, you can grab something to touch, all right? And finally, Cossack squats. And we're just doing alternating. So weight is optional here. I typically carry weight kind of here or here when doing so, or unweighted is fine. And that's when we take a wider stance. I tend to toe out, but my knee follows my toes. If you toe forward, that's fine. You're squatting to one side. You can release this foot or not. And switch. Right. A little stretch here is fine. Weight in the hands is optional. I'm not doing that right now.
And the hold is up top.
Correct. Yeah, I typically hold the weight kind of near my chest. You can go here too. It's sort of a matter of taste, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Let's do it all over again. Right? So I realized we went from the bottom up that list, but we're doing this 2 more times through.
I was
We'll go
going
from
for
the top down if you'd like. I was just already on the floor. So I figured I'd demonstrate while I was on the floor. You know what I find interesting though is Garrett Thomas is 39.
Yep.
And though I think who's in the yellow jersey right now is 40. But I think that's more of a reflection of physiology between female and male bodies. We tend to get better as we age, generally, from an athletic standpoint than otherwise. So after your 10 Cossack squats, you're doing 5 squat jumps and then 15 hollow body rocks or dead bugs.
5 on each side on the Cossack or 10 on each side.
Good question. 10 total.
Okay.
So 5 per side, if you want to think per leg. For the squat jumps, you can hold the weight near your chest or bring the hands down so the kettlebell touches the ground.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Although if you have a light enough weight, that's relative, of course, holding it in a goblet position like you were doing for your Cossack squats is also okay. Just make sure you don't drop it, basically.
15 of those. It's pretty evil.
Yes, but you did 10 last time. So we're
Remember? And I was like, 10, I got this. Then the last 5, I was like, ah! I
I was
know
gonna-
why. It I'm just like, yes, coach, they're having the desired effect.
it's almost like when you add an interval to my intervals, and I was like, why did we go from 4 to 5? Why did we have to add another one? Do we have to? Can we stick with 4? I like 4. Am I right? And that was hard. You're like, it was supposed to be. I was like, oh,
Duh.
desired effect. Check.
That's why I always, when I like finally hit a workout on the bike that I haven't been hitting, I'll be like, hooray, and shit. And Julie will be like, question mark, and I'll be like, I know what that means.
I mean, more.
That means I gotta do more, damn it.
Yeah. We're doing 3 total sets, and I believe, if my math is correct, you're all on your 3rd set.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have a nap down here for this last one. Just kidding. I'm gonna do it.
I mean, you can take a nap in between.
Oh, I must do the elevator Rex.
Good. Yeah, you can have any variation of that rock, right? So even having your knees to your chest, towards your chest, can still be challenging.
Still challenging.
Just a little bit. You can do either of these, Carrie, not both. I mean, you could do both, but you only need to do one variation, okay? A mix and match is fine, by the way, but don't do 15 hollow body rocks and 15 dead bugs.
Likes the damn dead bugs, that's all. Just kidding. Wait, who doesn't like dead bugs, man? Love dead bugs.
The big thing I think for people that with the hollow body position is the head and neck being off the ground is really hard.
Yeah.
And if you're already dealing with some thoracic, neck, cervical issues, it doesn't help. So that's why I like to provide that option.
Definitely.
Okay, so we now have, well, let's set ourselves up for this next piece, which is the deadlift variation. I gave you about 4. So I will demonstrate all of them, including basically 2 main variations with add-ons, if you chose to do so. So first and foremost, the single leg deadlift. And that is, in this case, when the weight, okay, I like to go opposite, but you can weight this differently, okay? So I'm going to deadlift my left leg. So if I'm going behind, I guess it makes more sense this way. So obviously the single leg deadlift itself, right? And then back, right? So the hips are moving back, chest comes forward. The knee raise element, okay? This might be something where you have to go with a single-sided or same-sided loading pattern. So left leg, left hand, okay? And then, so my balance is not great, so bear with me here, whoop, right? And then leg raise, 1. Great, okay? I'm gonna do 2 more like that. The leg raise is optional. But if you're gonna go leg raise, I find that the leg I'm deadlifting with is the leg I have to use. This is less about getting your dumbbell or kettlebell to the floor, right? Or if you need to keep your foot down for this, okay, meaning I can do my leg raise. Okay, so I'm deadlifting my right leg now. My back foot can remain on the ground, and then I can leg raise this way, right? So you can add more support for the deadlift for that back foot. That's version 1. The leg raise is an option if you want to add it. Version 2, we have 4 deadlifts, in theory, increasing weight, or maybe adding a weight. So if you have 1, add a second in the opposite hand, and doing 4 deadlifts. You may or may not touch the ground based on the weight choice. But ultimately, I have 2 weights here. It might be instead of 1, I'll do 2, right? I'm touching, right? Or maybe getting close touching the ground, depending on my weight choice. And then I have a bicep curl and overhead press as an option. So this is one of those things where purely optional, okay? I've done my deadlift, optional to then bicep curl, press. Is that necessary? No. Maybe you should do bicep curl. Maybe neither. So these are just variations in case, frankly, you're getting sick of just a deadlift and your weights aren't increasing. But we're doing four reps of that. The bicep curl and or overhead press is an add-on. So pick your poison, if you will. And we're gonna do either 3 per leg of your single leg variations or 4 with your 2-footed variations. We're going on the clock here, so we haven't started yet. Getting my timer started. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice job. Good. And you may put your foot down if you're doing single leg version down in between, standing up. If you'd like. You're both doing a great job of kind of floating that back foot, but your foot could touch the ground.
I kind of have to do a little toe tap.
A little toe tap's fine.
I've gotten to a little toe tap and not, oh my God, I'm gonna fall, so. We are working on this stuff in PT, so this is perfect variation for me. This is why I'm choosing this variation today.
Yeah, yeah.
And we wait to the minute and do the other side, or?
Correct. You have 15 seconds,
Okay,
right? If you can, both legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, 3 per leg. 5, 3, 2, 1. This is minute 2. So we're gonna just do every minute, starting on the minute, 3 per side in this case. Single leg deadlifts. Again, that knee raise is a bonus. Okay.
Oh, we be bonusing.
Yeah,
It's nice because it kind of adds an interesting balance demand.
yep, and if you're having a run issue. And that you're working on that knee, those knee raises, yes.
Yeah, it just
I'm doing this, I went from push-off drills to now I'm doing. Wait. I have to
Yeah.
go, you go up, down, down.
Mhm.
Like quick, rapidly on both
Mhm.
sides. And that seems really easy until Meg's brain gets involved.
And go. Yeah, it's hard when your brain gets involved. That's his minute. Well, this is your third, I should say, second minute. We started at minute 0, so.
Are we
Not
upping the
cool.
weight? Are we supposed to be upping the weight on each side? Or is that
If you have the option, you can, Carrie. If you want to stick, if there is a weight that's working for you, that's okay in this case to stay at that weight. So yeah, I want to make a weight that isn't distracting, right? Meaning that's not going to distract you from your deadlift, which is sort of the sweet spot. Heavy enough to feel it, but not so heavy that it's, dragging you to the floor,
Yeah.
So it's for me, a very distinct weight choice. It's fine until it's not. Like too far. Okay, we'll go back. Right. The discrepancy between good.
Oh no, I was just saying the left leg is extra fun for me. So
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Shoes on.
3 per side. We're starting minute 4 and 3, 2, 1, and go.
Jeez,
Take your time.
big toe, Meg, big toe.
Yeah, your big toe is kind of critical to your balance, which I know you know, but I'm saying it anyway.
Yeah.
Aha. Go left leg, go.
You can do it left leg.
Go left leg, go. Go left leg, go. Sorry.
If the range of motion is different per leg, I'm fine with that, especially if we're just working on balance.
Well, we're back on my baloney where my right foot now works, as long as I remember to engage the toe, because for a while there I was protecting the toe.
Yeah.
But now my right toe is fine, and we're back to my left toe, just not knowing how to do anything.
5,
Out there, my left toe was picking up the slack.
2, 1, and go. Your body's clever like that. One side doesn't work, the other side's like, I got this.
Even though that's the arthritis toe.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, and if you need to do this, any of these variations without weight, because balance is your main focus, and the weight is frankly distracting. Either decrease the weight, or take weight away. Right? On that back leg carry, turn the foot in. So if the foot's kicked out, turn that toe back foot down.
Straight out. Is that what you said?
Back foot, turn the toe down. Yeah, there we go. So you're squaring off the hip.
Ah, yes, I see what's happening here.
So you're loading that left glute a little more.
Oh yeah, that's the difference.
3,
Okay.
2, 1. Let's do single. Let's just go without weight. If that we need to kind of practice that balance, that's fine. Turn that. Yeah, there we go.
That's my right side. That's why it's awesome.
No, but like it's still like even when turning that back foot in, there's a little less lean to the.
Oh, I see. Yep. I
Yeah.
noticed that.
Yeah. This is your 6th interval of 8. Right?
way to go, big toes. You did a good job there.
They're like, thanks, coach. Yay.
Gotta give them some good feedback. Good job.
Good job, toes.
It's a low 5. Good job. Good job.
Low 5. I like it. All right.
They are the weak link. We know it. They know it.
1 and go. If you need to take a minute off, by the way, so I realize single leg variations take longer, slightly more technical in some respects because you're doing per side. Either elongate the interval so you have a little break, or take a minute off and then jump back in. Yeah, turn that back foot down. Yeah.
Like I'm noticing that the weights were actually getting me off balance.
Yeah. Right. So sometimes weights are helpful and sometimes they're a little bit, they're taking away from your brain can't do both. Turn that foot down.
Go brain go. It's not going, I'm like doing a ballet move or something back here. I don't know.
Yeah, turn the toe down. Think opposite of ballet. The exact opposite. There you go.
Here we
Down.
go.
So that's open, right? Good.
Yeah.
Final minute, okay, on this next set. This is gonna feel funny. So when your foot goes back, you're doing this, opening the hip.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and intentionally turn the toe in. It's a bit of an overcorrection, right? I understand that,
Okay.
but it's not this.
Yeah. That is funny. I don't
We're
know.
on. Yes. Okay.
Okay, final interval. Yeah, there we go. For you guys, take your time. Toe in, that's down. Yep.
Go in. Go
Yep.
toe. Go.
Yeah, so in is an overcorrection, but
Yeah.
it'll eventually in, lean into that leg. Yeah. So you know the bird dogs we practice, right?
Yep. Foot
right?
down.
Yeah, we're trying to avoid
That's
rotating. We're trying to keep your hips square to the camera or whatever your object is. So when we turn the toe out, things get weird. Unless you're doing that on purpose. So big thing here, right? Sport related. We don't run like, hopefully, don't run like this with hip open. We run forward. Okay. So when running, you don't want that hip to kick out. You want that hip to remain forward. So we do that by stabilizing through this hip as we travel forward, right? So that, yeah, there, that's better. Good. And if your range of motion varies, That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
And it
My-
might help if you ever want to practice this barefoot. I realize you don't run barefoot. I understand that. But if you can practice this barefoot, those big toes, I mean, I know mega side with some injury stuff, it's
Yep.
good proprioception.
Okay.
Or socks, minimal contact, like minimal padding between you and the floor.
Flat shoes. Cause you know what, I actually have, like, if I go to PT in like any kind of shoe that I run in, it makes all the balance work really hard. Because they're like, sometimes the stability of a shoe doesn't help with that, like that feel for the floor. So,
The stability helps with the running,
yes, but not,
propulsion,
yeah.
right? Propelling forward. Running shoes they're all a bit different, but they are designed to move you in a forward direction. When you're weightlifting or balancing in place, that forward propulsion element is not helpful. That downward angle doesn't help you. In fact, it hinders your ability to balance.
Well, if you're in a stability shoe so that you don't pronate doing any kind of work where you're balancing on your big toe, it's pushing you off of it, right? Because it's like, no, don't over pronate. So
Yeah.
The good thing I have the right shoes on because these are my strength training flat ones. They're not my runners. So
same thing.
have my-
Like, oh my gosh, so these are ultras from like the first gen of ultras. And I bought them to try, and I was like, no, these don't work. And I put them in the back of a closet, and now they've been lifting shoes for 10 years now.
Yep, that's these. I think these have been 6 years plus. They're from COVID,
Yep.
but I don't take them anywhere. So
Yeah.
they've just been out.
All right, coach, let's do this
All
live.
right, coach.
Final section of the day. We have goblet squats. This is, I will say we have 12 minutes, which I think is reasonable. But if that's not, we'll just do as much as we can in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
I do want you to rest. So for those of you who don't know how, okay, impose a rest on yourself. And that could be at the end of each round, or maybe for some of you in between legs, right? So we're starting with goblet squats, 12 of them, as it turns out. We did 10 last week or 2 weeks ago. You're going to hang on to your weight. I have a kettlebell, but you can grab a weight of your choice. Okay. Nice and close to your chest. Feet are me squat width, right? You're going to breathe in as you squat down. You can even squat to a chair if that helps. And then exhale as you stand back up 12 times. Speaking of big toes, keep those fully firmly planted on the ground and your heels planted. If you have a name tag or something on your imaginary lapel, I should see it, or someone should see it the entire time. Okay. Go to range of motion that you can tolerate and manage.
Woo.
12 of those bad boys. Good. Okay. Weight is not necessary for this part, although you could weight it if you'd like. 8 per side, non-alternating. So staying on one leg for 8, reverse lunges. So as we step back, yeah, squeeze your butt on the back leg. That might mean you can't get all the way down. That's okay. All right. Squeeze your butt. Open the hip. All right. 8 times. Butt squeeze is optional, but it is a nice test to see if you can keep your glutes engaged on that back leg on a lunge. Once you have 8 on one side, you may rest or go directly to the other side.
Oh, yep. I did alternate, but I will do it right next time.
I mean, I'm appreciating.
Again, because you only got 4 per side. Haha. Just kidding. Okay, and then what's next? 10.
You have 10 alternating. Not the push-up part. The push-up is a push-up. Alternating the rotation. So for your push-up, you can assist that push-up heavily. So elevating your hands. I'm going to just use my knees for now. You could do a full push-up if you feel so inclined. Okay. And then your rotation is here, or if you need to be on the knees, here. That's one. Push-up. Rotation. Two. So into a side plank, essentially. That's the alternating element. You're switching sides. You can't alternate a push-up, I don't think. You can modify that rotation however you need. We're just looking for a little spinal or thoracic rotation. That's upper back. Unless rotation is a big no from your medical team. And then finally, final movement, 10 per side, tall kneeling. All that means is we're kneeling, right? So what my knee, hip, shoulder should be in one line, not behind, not forward. Something in between. Tall kneeling, overhead press. So this can be, right? Dumbbell, kettlebell, right? Just breathing in as you come down. Exhaling as you press. At the top, I know you can't see my hand, but my wrist, shoulder, hip, and knee should be in one line. If possible. Depending on what your shoulders can tolerate. 10%. Tall kneeling is a little, slightly more challenging than half kneeling. I think from a motor control perspective. So you need to modify. You can do what Coach Meg is doing. Yeah. And that's slightly.
Oh, with foot up.
Still challenging.
Yep.
But it's just slightly less challenging. It's just from a motor control. Like this hip, it's easier to balance here. Whereas when you have both knees down, it's hard to extend the hip. So great. Once you've done 10 per side of that overhead press, we're going to go back to your goblet squats.
Oh. Ruby.
12 of them.
Oh, man,
Yeah, they're all even numbers, if that helps, Carrie. No odd numbers, but I can remind you of the rep schemes when you move to the next movement.
I promise I can count in my daily life.
I mean, you'd be surprised the amount of people come to me and they're like, you tell me what to do. How, when to rest, how to do it, and these are all very smart, powerful people. And they're just like, oh, I don't care, you tell me what to do. 8 per side, non-alternating. Stick with that one leg for 8 reps. If you need to lunge forward, because you need to, lunge forward, okay? The lunge direction, I have you going backwards right now because it's a slightly more of a hamstring and glute bias. I say slightly subtle, but there's a difference than a forward lunge step, which is also great. It's good for your running as well, but it takes the pressure generally off the knees, generally. Once you have 8 per side of your lunge steps, so you are not switching legs, so you complete 8 on one leg. You have 10 push-ups. You're alternating the rotation, that sort of reach through the push-up. Right. Eventually, you see 10 push-ups for some of us because rotation's a no. Assist those push-ups with the elevated hand position, knees on the floor. If you use these knees variation, squeeze your butt. modifying any of this as you need. After your 10 total reps, you have 10 per side, tall kneeling. I think of like kneeling in a pew if you went, I don't know what kind of church that is, but if there are pews in your church, if that's a thing you did, or I don't know. I didn't go to church. I just know that's something that people do. No disrespect. I just don't do it. Or both knees on the ground. Yeah. You're making a big L shape with your body. Nice job. 10 per side, tall kneeling, overhead press. If you need to take a half kneeling position, that's like taking a knee on a, well, that's what I did in soccer when someone fell down. You could do that too.
Oh, these are a little spicy after all that fun.
Yeah. Yeah, 10's also a lot, Carrie. So 10 reps is on purpose, but it is objectively a higher volume thing. So
Yeah, to be fair, I did the half kneeling on the one because I wasn't paying attention, but I was using the kettlebell straight up. So those were still spicy, just different spicy.
yeah, it's just like I think the demands are a little bit different. And I think it depends on, it's a bit like doing a deadlift with your foot down or your foot up. What do you need? Do you need like
I get the point. That was definitely the tall kneeling was definitely more in the hips.
Yeah.
Where I did the half kneeling, that was more in my shoulders, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of, they're both great. And I think just finding variations that work for you.
Yep.
We have 2 minutes remaining. With those 2 minutes, you may do whatever you like.
Goblet squatting, so I'm in it. I'm coming.
Have 12 more goblet squats if you're continuing. If you want to balance out the system a little bit, you can either do the tall kneeling or the push-ups if you want to balance a little more upper body, or if you just want to go in order, then we'll do the non-alternating 8 per side. Reverse lunge steps, excuse me.
Nope, not enough. Gotta go on the back legs.
Yeah, there's a little, I realized that side rotation, there's a little kind of lateral movement through the foot. Kind of rock side to side a little bit.
Yeah, I got a little knee on those push-ups towards the last 4.
Yeah.
Just on my right knee where my, you know what I mean? And it's just getting in and out of position sometimes. So
Yeah, there's a lot of transitioning in and out of laterally moving shapes. So I can appreciate sometimes we just need to either do one or the other, right? Rotating or push-ups. Sometimes you put them together. It's okay to just simplify when needed.
That was not suave.
That's okay. I don't think anyone's smooth on their third and final set ever. Nice work. Finishing off your push-ups. Coach Mike, do you have the workout?
no, I did lunges instead of the push-ups.
No, do you want me to copy and paste the workout to you?
I got it.
I think I can remember it. I'm good.
Okay, lovely. We're gonna end the session with look at this little bean. Look at her.
Hi, Bean.
She's unimpressed. She's just snoozing.
Outed. She done.
She's done. Cool. Nice job today.
Thanks, Coach.
Good job, Coach. Good job, Meg.
Good job, Karen. I was glad to see you.
Likewise.
Nice job with the foot down deadlift idea. It's a weird, anyway, it's an interesting concept, but it's if you need to do them like in a mirror or like in a a visual that you can see your feet. That's always an
I'm gonna
option.
grab a mirror for next time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And feel free to go without weight as long as you need, or maybe sometimes you go with weight and sometimes without. You can kind of practice. You can always kind of mix and match. Can't think of anything else. Oh, we have
Groovy.
a new trainer.
Yeah, so what'd you get? You have the kicker bike
Nikki
and
got the Zwift cog, the kicker core with
yeah,
a Zwift cog. Because the idea with the Wahoo bike was to solve the issue of having a 9-speed, 11-speed, and 12-speed
right.
cassette, which is
Right.
valid. And the cog didn't exist when we bought it.
Yep.
Turns out Nikki hates the saddle, and he's had a lot of saddle issues, which you know.
Yep.
And
He just doesn't use it, and you do, but
I do, but like I actually, to
point
be
to
honest,
getting it was so that you didn't have to have multiple devices, right?
but I kind of tolerate the bike.